Probably next time we're going to go over on top of that Mount Pilot. Although I don't know if we can camp on top of it. This sort of where the lookout is, there's not really a lot of flat ground there and it's pretty rocky, so. Rightio, welcome back to episode 9 of the Budget Adventure Show. As I said last episode, we're going to continue the elevation series towards the end of season 3. Last time I was up on Ridge Track in Mount Pilot National Park, and now we're going to go up to the top of Mount Pilot itself. So packed light, about 4:30 in the afternoon, so it's only just down the road. Not going to need to be doing a lot of Ks to get there. Not a lot to see between here and there, so we'll get going down the road here a bit. Warmer day, so we're going to be in the hammock tonight. See how that goes. Jaguar. I don't know, sometimes when the bike's all loaded up, it feels like I get better acceleration out of the Commodore than I do on this. Only poor little 500, sitting at 230 kilos wet, 3/4 tank of fuel, about another 18 litres. Fucking let's go. So yeah, 200 plus kilo wet weight with fuel. My 100 kilos plus, I dare say there's 50 kilos in the bags for all the stuff, so fair bit of weight for a poor little 500. But when you take all that gear off and take the panniers off, I might say I achieved or found its top speed a couple of weeks ago at 8.5 revs. I'm not going to say what that speed is, I'm not going to incriminate myself on camera, but that found its top speed and it sat there for a couple of Ks, or a K at least, quite easily. So anyway, enough about breaking the law. Balls open, that'd be good today. As I said, it's sort of, the weather's just starting to get good. The last 4 weekends, pretty much every Saturday it's rained. We haven't had anywhere near the falls of what we've had over the last couple of months. I think the Eldorado area, the annual rainfall just for November was over 500 millimetres, so there's definitely been a lot of rain. But at least the dust was settled, starting to pick up now, so that's it for Chiltern. I've packed a bit lighter than normal. Out went the kitchen table, out went the sink, out went a heap of other things for an issue I'll get into later when we get off here. But the bike's not feeling too well tonight. He's got a couple of issues, and had to try and pack light. That's it for the talking again. We'll get going and no, just stop there, so keep on cracking. So I've just pulled over. That's Skeleton Hill there. Go back a bit. Where that hill there goes up and drops down suddenly, that's Ridge Track where we were last episode. And we're heading up there for Mount Pilot and the summit. Woohoo! Off the tar, onto the blacktop, onto the dirt. We go too far. Oh yeah, that had come off already. Stay. Stay. There. That's a slight problem I've got. Ah, bloody shockers. Alright. There's some barricades across the road or beside the road up here last weekend when I come up for a recce. Obviously 2 foot deep drains that have been washed out. They were here, so those barricades are gone now. Oh, a couple up here. I was going to pull them across the road so no one can come in behind me. I'd have the joint to myself, but unfortunately, it was about 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I got up here and there was about 8 cars. One Toyota Hiace that obviously stayed up here tonight, Bongo Van camper, so I wish I could ride faster over this. But because I'm so heavy, I'm just going to putt up here. I'm not going to do anything stupid. Real sandy shit, and I've got no hope of stopping if car or motorbike comes around the corner, so we're just going to kick along, putt. The main car park off the Chiltern Beechworth road, it's only maybe 4k's in, so there's not a lot of dirt stuff once you get off the car, get into here, and then from there you're about 300 metres off the summit, which is walking only. You can see where there's been some trails where bikes that have tried to get to the top and probably haven't got to the top of the pass. It's four-wheel drives as well, but they've put a heap of logs across those tracks to deter anyone from driving to the top of the mountain. Whether it's in the footage from before or not, as I mentioned last episode, at the base of Mount Pilot there's a significant Aboriginal area with cave art and all that sort of thing, and that's all taken pretty seriously up here, so I did find a camping spot down there amongst the trees, a bit away from it, or look at that one day once the Aussies have disappeared. Maybe when it starts cooling down again next year. A couple of nice big rocks in there you'd be able to lay the swag outside and sort of lean to, or a tarp up to it, and it'd be a good night down there, so plenty of firewood again. This is where we leave the old coach road. I suppose I should have said we are travelling on the old coach road between Eldorado and Wodonga. It keeps on going that way towards Indigo Valley, and we're going to head up here to the summit, probably 2 or 3 corners away. So as I said earlier, quick trip away, left it late, hoping that all the tourists are gone, because one, not really supposed to camp up here, 2, if you're going to have a fire, it's supposed to be in a couple of designated fire pits, and I don't like handful covers, so, and there are cars here, damn it. No it's not, yes there is. It's different. It's very different. They're going down to my spot. Going down to my spot, so we're just going to wait here for them to take their photos and do what they want to do. And yeah, but this is the Mount Pilot area. So as I said, fire pit there, table. I was just going to bring the ute up and find a flat spot over there and cook here and there or whatever else, but I'll yeah, wait for them to go. Welcome back to Budget HQ, here for a bit of a gear review. No, you'd think this is the budget kitchen, but it's not. Going to do a quick bit of a review here on a bit of tech. Having fresh food when you go camping is always a plus. I've had the cryovac, the 240 cryovac for a while. Now, I have this little beauty. Rechargeable battery, USB-C port, so it's the same as your Bluetooth headphones and everything else. Little vacuum sealer, got it off eBay for about $34. Come with about 30 bags as well, with various sizes. Just reusable Ziploc bags with a air valve on the outside. So got some diced up carrot here as a bit of an example. I'm going to do tomato and onion for this trip for breakfast, but all you have to do is throw your ingredients in there. It'd be good for fish, all that sort of stuff when you're off camping as well. Freezer, cryovac and stuff. Or now I've got the backpack, and then on the bike you haven't got the room for a container for everything, so and it works. I'm sure you've all used Ziploc bags before. And the top closed, and you just sit that over the valve. There it goes. Like that. Freezer, I don't know why I keep on saying freeze dried. Cryovac carrot in that instance. Your proteins, the tomato, bacon and onion mixture I do for me scrambled eggs. I wouldn't put eggs in there again, like any cryovac, any liquid in there, and it's going to suck up in the machine. So if you're going to put runnier stuff in, you might need to freeze it first and put it in there, but that'll stay fresh in there for a few days now, like that. Probably wouldn't even need to refrigerate it or have it cool. So something handy again, about $30. You get about five or six different versions of each bag. These are the small ones, and you go all the way up to your big Ziploc bags as well. But handy little thing to have, especially transition away from the fridges and eskies into the backpack cooler. Slip slip all your different ingredients in there. You don't have to worry about stuff getting squashed, don't have to worry about bulky containers, especially coming home. You got 10 empty containers in the fridge or in your backpack where you just got them. Once they're used, roll them up, put them inside one of the other ones so they can't leak any juices anywhere, and bring them home and clean them out. I'll check back in a while after I've done this for a bit and see how it holds up. I haven't charged it yet, I've used it about 6 times, so we'll see how long the battery goes for on that. And yeah, you can buy just the bags on eBay as well. It does come with some spare valves. I don't know how that valve works, if you can add it to an existing Ziploc bag or not, but it's yeah, something quick, easy, cheap for keeping food fresh when you're going camping. So here we are, Mount Pilot. As I said earlier, car park and all that's up there, but got the bike hidden down behind some foliage. But this is where we're going to camp tonight. Those that follow me on Facebook would have seen the hammock set up here last weekend. Did a recce out here just to make sure the hammock was going to fit between these 2 trees here. Would have been a pain in the ass to get out here and not have it fit. Oh, I've left my headlights on. Aftermarket headlights and my own wiring, so don't leave them on, they'll flatten the battery. But yeah, not as steep a drop off as I remember. Still, you wouldn't want to roll out of bed in the morning. But looking towards the north, you won't be able to see it, but the highest hill over there with the radio antenna on it, that's Mount Barranduda. Wodonga and Aubrey are over there. A couple of nice big rocks sticking out of the trees there. I've tried to find that on the bike, but can't with this anyway. One day when I get a dirt bike, I want to be able to see if I can get up and climb that big rock. And a couple of big flat rock sections up there as well. But we'll go for a walk up here and check out the rest of Mount Pilot later when those somewhat attractive Lebanese tourists leave. That's the first in the bush. But yeah, we'll start setting up camp and yeah, get ready for the night. So far so good, no mosquitoes yet. Last Sunday morning, as I said, about 9:30, setting the hammock up, and the main hammock got put back in the bag, but the tree straps didn't. They just got thrown in the bag, and I left because they were swarming. But so far so good, so let's get things set up. Alright, so that's all set up. First time setting up the Alton Goods tarp, freebie free tarp. Definitely a lot more coverage than what the Hoochies have got, so I was going to do just a square configuration over the hammock, but I know a lot of people in the hammock camp, they go to the diamond, so I'll do that. There's no prospect of rain. Dropping down to 13, 14, there might be a little bit of dew. That's the only reason I've got it up, otherwise up here during summer, don't fall down that crack. It'd be good just looking at the stars. So for those that didn't see the what did I title that one? I don't know, the bike episode last season. This is just the Adventure Ridge, Adventure Ridge outdoor camping hammock. It's an Audi brand. I got it off Amazon America, so go figure how that worked. But it's only a real light hammock, integrated Mozzie net, which is great. this time of year. Been looking at the Alton ones. I know you've got to try and put the whole hammock mozzie net over it and that sort of thing, and as we're going to see tonight, it's going to be bad enough just trying to climb into this thing with your sleeping bag on and everything else. So I've got it pretty much set where it should be. I'll just do the old weight test. Creek grown. Oh. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, anyway. Oh. Here's a nice view. Anyway, so we'll see how the tarp goes. They're great products. There's our first one. And just as the breezes died right off too, it's going to be fun. So tarp, it does come with some aluminium pegs and that sort of thing as well. Obviously not using them. The one plus about using a diamond configuration like this too is you've only got 2 guide wires, guide ropes out either side. That one's going up into a tree, so I don't have to duck to walk under it, and this one's going off down the rock, so if I fall, I've got one last thing to grab onto before I start rolling. So that's it for our shelter. I won't worry about the sleeping bag and that until later when it gets a bit darker. I'll leave it wrapped up in the pannier. So that's it for the tarp. What else we got to do? We get the fire set up. You'll recognise this from the Kangaroo Creek, the Kangaroo Hill, Scalded Hill. Fire sorted. No cordless saw, battery operated saw or anything this time. It's back to good old hand pump with the little hand saws, so I'll get some firewood organised. The only problem with using that little firebox, the wood's got to be pretty small for it. Might be able to just get away with. Oh yeah. So that little golf took off before with those ladies in it. She's a fully duffed off golf. So you make your money, you spend on what you want. Who am I to judge? Smelly wood. Oh, I wish I had the battery saw. The only problem with starting this with small stuff in it that grill's small enough for all the little coals to fall through, so now you need to get it going pretty quick. Nice little sticks. I'm not going to light this yet. I'm going to wait until it gets on a bit. The other problem with daylight savings, the sun's going to be out and not interfering, or the sunset's not going to be interfering with my tea prep. But over there, and cut some more wood, get a bit of a heat going so I don't have to worry about it once the sun goes down. And nymphs and blowflies. Oh, I may have overdressed for no reason. Anyway, I'll keep on gathering some firewood. So just putting out some Aussie calls. Brought a big pack of them, and unfortunately they don't come for the stand, so I had some of these little useless tent pegs that are just going to bend as soon as you hit them in, and got the hammer on the anvil and just squashed the ends over, gave them a little bit of a polish up with the bench grinder, and there you got ready-made Aussie coil stands. I didn't put a point on the bottom end though, so it's been a bit tough getting a couple of them in the ground, but I've got pretty much four points to the camp. The wind's swirling around. 1 minute it's coming up off the rocks and the other minute it's coming back the other way. So 4 of these going. It should create a bit of a barrier around me because I have noticed a couple coming in while I've been sitting down. $15 on eBay. Little electronic lighter, rechargeables off a USB-C, and no heat unless you touch the arcing plasma, of course, but nice and easy. You're not burning your fingers trying to get these bastards lit and everything else. So good little investment. Just remember to charge it. So here we are, Mount Pilot. Fantastic view. That limb, if it was hanging out over the river, you'd be inclined. Go away, nymph. Just nymphs? No, that's a mosquito. You'd be inclined to jump out and try and snap it off and land in the water, but that's too much of a drop to even try and knock it over. It obscures the view, but still, don't want to damage too much of the national park. So, as I was saying earlier, if you haven't seen me light hammock setup video from last season, Adventure Ridge hammock covered with the Alton Goods 3x3 metre tarp. First time using the tarp, got it a couple of weeks ago, but was going to test it out when it rained, see how good it actually is, but I ended up chickening out that camping trip. So, Mozzie calls are out, the wind's sort of swirling, I can smell it, so it means it's working. The one over here on the side of the rocks sort of blowing into camp at the moment, but as the wind swirls around, it sort of just, I wouldn't say it creates a vortex under here, otherwise I'll be getting picked up off the ground, but it just gives you a good area of good area of coverage with the Mozzie calls. Oh, that breeze. So yeah, not in a khaki and fluoro this trip. As I said last time I was up here, the mosquitoes were pretty bad, so I thought, hammock, go away. So I thought, at least it's nice, real light, aerated stuff, and for the most part it has been pretty breezy. I don't like it being so tight around the neck. That might get a knife to it and get the lighter to cover up any frayed edges to open a bit of a V-neck up. But oh, blood. You can spend any sort of money on riding gear and that.
This is on Marketplace for 30 bucks. Person obviously bought it online. I don't even know what the brand is. I don't know what that R stands for. I haven't googled anything. I'd assume it's an eBay brand. eBay brand. It probably cost them 35 and they've turned around and sold for 30. Still had the tags on, so it's been good. Trying to get something a lighter colour, not so much black, because we are now heading into summer and the heat. But anyway, for this trip, nice and light. I thought long sleeves, bit of baggy pants. We'll trip the mozzies up. Trip the mozzies up, but yeah. So normally around now, the sun would be setting. I'll put the drone up and get some of that footage from golden hour, and then cook something for tea. But looking at our clock, it's 6:10. So might have to do things backwards. The plus with daylight savings, you may say, in a way, yes. During winter, the middle parts of the year, you're struggling, rushing to get food cooked while it's still daylight. And then tea's normally sitting on the cooker, sitting in the pan or whatever, because at that same time the sun's setting and you want to get out and film the sunset. So we might crack on into dinner. Got the pan. I didn't want to light the fire yet, but we might have to. Might just sit here for a bit. Give it another 20 minutes, half hour. Enjoy that nice breeze. The blowflies are here now, they know I'm here, so they're buzzing around a lot more than the mozzies. I only squashed. Oh, look at that bastard. That's white. You're not supposed to go for white or light colours. Dig all you want. No problem, because it's so airy, it gives them a lot of holes to be able to dig in, so I hate to know what's happening on my shoulders and the back. Yeah, anyway. Sit here for a couple more minutes. Nymph. Mozzie. See what these mosquitoes do, and we might cook a spot of dinner. This might just have been the easiest fire I've had to light. Or should I say, the wood's probably the driest I've had to light the fire all season. It's not going to need a lot at all. Bit of campfire smoke might keep the mozzies at bay a little bit more too. So that's going. Dry wood certainly makes things a hell of a lot easier. I'm going to have to keep on a little bit because of the that grate in the bottom. All my little twigs now I put down at the bottom aren't going to burn for very long before they drop down. So the other problem we got too, using this time, apart from the Kangaroo Hill trip, is I had some decent wood with decent coals and then shoveled the coals in to cook them kebabs on. I'm just hoping I can keep all these little coals up to it. Even if they do drop down underneath, the heat should still stay in it, that I can take one frying pan and cook some tea. So we'll let this die down a bit, and I'd say about then it'll be time to cook. Burn, baby, burn. Hot. I like it hot, hot, hot. Alluded to earlier, the bike's not doing too well. Noticed a couple of weeks ago at home, went out to get it to take to work, and there was oil on the ground. Luckily not engine oil, but it is rear shock oil. I've done a rear seal on that rear shock absorber in there. So I took it into the Benelli dealer today because I've only owned it for a year, in August just gone. But next demo, I seem to remember I was told when I got it, the 2-year factory warranty would be from when I got it, and not the fact that it had been in the dealership for 2020 during COVID and 500 Ks on the clock. So took some photos. They're going to put a claim in, and hopefully I'll get a new rear shock out of it, because they're not cheap. You're looking at about $700 to $1,500 to replace it. Obviously that's not going for the original shocks that were in it. The X version, 502X, does have a more heavy duty shock. I've been told they fit in there, but they're about 30mm longer, which would give me a little bit of height, which isn't a bad thing. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise we'll go aftermarket, something that's capable of carrying that little bit of extra weight. It's still not at its GVM, but yeah, something that just handle the weight when I do go off road or go for a tour a little bit better. So at the moment, any rough stuff, we're going slow on, just until I can fix it, because the biggest thing is that top seal, the oil's leaking down and straight on top of the muffler. Luckily, I think the muffler isn't as hot as your headers and the rest of the exhaust. It makes a lot of smoke, but hopefully it's not quite at the ignition point of suspension oil. Otherwise she might burn to the ground. But plans are afoot to get a proper road enduro bike for doing this sort of stuff, and heading out. We'll duck over here quickly, go for a camp. So we're pretty high here, not quite sure the elevation, I'll put it here somewhere. Mount Barranduda is considerably higher again, and then if we go around here, without going arse over tit, you got all the mountains, Mount Stanley and that over there, which is even higher elevation again, and over that way, which I hope to go to for the final episode of the year, Mount Buffalo, which is even higher. And it snows, well, before global warming, it snowed up there with the chalet and that, so we are going to keep on going higher in this elevation series, but that's going to be a road trip, all this sort of stuff. Mount Barranduda, Stanley, it's all sort of dirt bike stuff. So still working on downsizing, compacting, eliminating unwanted, unneeded stuff on the bike, and yeah, trying to pack light, which is why I'm cooking what I'm cooking tonight. We done some fine dining last episode. This is going to be a little bit different. Rightio. Welcome back to the budget kitchen. One good thing about these riding pants, thick knee pads. So tonight I'm cooking fine yet hobo dining, if you want to call it that. We're doing a gnocchi, a Tex-Mex gnocchi, Mexican gnocchi. See how we go. So anyway, as our sauce, I preserved these. Date on this is the 30th of the 1st of last year. So we're coming up on nearly 2 years of this being in the jar. Lid's still depressed. Oh, pop. Smells right. No mould under the lid, so your basic chili, onion, kidney beans, butter beans, onion, carrot, peas, corn, red and green capsicum, and a lot of chili. So that's our first thing that we duck into the fridge. So I was going to do ravioli with it. When I go shopping, I always look out for ravioli, that sort of thing that's on clearance, reduced, half price, whatever else. Take it home, portion it, cryovac it, and it's good for a year or whatever afterwards. This is a Renner pan fry Italian cheeses, gnocchi, crispy and creamy, fantastic in 5 minutes. Again, it was on special for $4, 50% off. So we're going to pan fry it in the pan and then add the chili to it. Because I'm adding a liquid mixture to the pan, I haven't got the cast iron this time. I got this little pan, deep pan I found at work, obviously well used. Hadn't the handle missing. I recently picked up a set of pan grippers off eBay. I think they were $10-15. Unfortunately I didn't check before I left home because the lip's too wide for the pan grippers to grab onto, so that's a little bit wonky. I'm gonna have to use the glove to grab the pan off. It's a bit better. So I'm gonna put it on the angle like that, just because we're a little bit off kilter. Bringing our pantry. Campfire cooking. If it hasn't got ash in it, that's not real campfire cooking. So gonna add a bit of oil to this, so I can lube this gnocchi right up. I've tried gnocchi before, and that's just the boiling in water. It hasn't been pleasant, so I've sort of stopped buying it, but I thought this stuff's got cheese in it that might actually be worth the try. So it's weird the way that's packaged. Cut it off. This will be my last go at gnocchi. If this doesn't work, I just won't buy it anymore. So I'm going to go into the pan like that, put that aside and dispose of it somewhat thoughtfully later. Grab our fork spoon. Put that over there. It all's going to heat up. Oh, that's warm. Having trouble keeping coals in it. I'm going to have to get a plate or something to put at the bottom of it. Even just a bit of sheet metal plate or something light that I can fit in there, just to stop the coals from all falling down. Because as soon as you put anything smaller than 2 centimeters square, it just drops straight through and you lose that heat. That pine or whatever it is I'm burning has a real interesting smell to it. Reminds me like peppermint, when you burn peppermint in a bushfire up in the high country. So, we'll get this cracking along. There's plenty of heat in there, so we'll fry off this gnocchi. That's all it says to do. It's just 5 minutes. Just a few minutes, you can crisp on the outside with delicious creamy filling inside, which isn't what gnocchi normally is, but anyway. Medium heat turning from time to time. 5 minutes, I reckon. I might let it go a little bit longer just so I know I don't have raw gnocchi. Although if it's stuffed, it's probably not going to matter. So, ow, knee. So we'll give it 5 minutes and see what it looks like. That gnocchi's browned off nicely. Some of them have started to split open, revealing yes, they do indeed have a cheesy inside. So now it's on there. Get our Mexican. You can not even use it as a salsa. The reason for these, going into the start of last year, which was 2021, there was a Birdsville track trip planned for the Anzac Day long weekend, and then Cape York again for September of this year, but it never happened. So I preserved a heap of chili and spag bol in these and the bigger Domio jars as well. Obviously no meat inside it. It's all vegan. Well, I won't say it's vegan. No meat in there because you can't preserve meat, obviously. These are not really a full serve, although, don't spill it. I'm going to do all of it just to use it, and then like the spag bowl in the cryovac bag, you can take that unrefrigerated, any pasta you want unrefrigerated, and just less stuff in the fridge. That was the idea anyway for the trips away in the ute. It works a whole lot better on the bike, however, with the overnight bag, the ice brick in there and everything else. So all we're going to do is warm this up, stir it through. Wow, that looks delicious. Probably too much there, but anyway, I'm going to eat it all. So we're going to let that simmer down nicely. I had to add wood to it again. I said before about adding a plate to the bottom. I think I can just get rid of the grill out of the bottom and build the fire from the bottom. I've got the holes at the very bottom. I can stick the butane torch in to light it, and then just have the fire at the bottom. You still have decent heat coming out of there, even with the coals down low. So that might be the way to go if I don't do charcoal with it. Just take that bottom grill out and build the fire from the bottom and just let that heat come up, because as you can see, she's still sizzling away nicely. As I've said before, with many cooking segments, low and slow. You don't want to rush any of it, because all you're going to do is burn the absolute shit out of everything. A couple of YouTubers I watch, again, they camp late. They spend their time videoing, photographing the sunset, which, again, as I said earlier, over winter, sunset just happens to happen around the same time you want to cook. But low and slow. One of them, he cooked, I can't remember if it was sausage or steak, but he cooked his meat and had it nearly ready, and then added the onions, which onions should always go on first. They take the longest out of anything to cook. So little tip for future adventurers: if you're going to have any onion in your meal, cook it first, because your proteins, especially over coals, when it cooks a little bit quicker, if there's heat in there, by the time that onion's starting to caramelise and burn, your protein's probably already done as well. So it looks fantastic. And all we're doing warming up. I cooked a big bowl of chili, a big pot of chili. So all the veggies, beans, capsicum, onion, carrot, all that stuff's already cooked. All you're doing is warming it up, which makes things a little bit quicker. So that just about looks done as the last of the coals drop down again. So I don't think I'm going to be using this as a fire for tonight, because obviously you can see over there I haven't cut enough wood, and it's still a tad warm. So this will warm me up a lot, as well as the cup of port. So there we go, Tex-Mex gnocchi. Not really getting the cheese in it. Something different. Oh, very hot. But again, unrefrigerated Mexican sauce to go with it. Hell, you'd probably just get a jar of Master Foods smoky barbecue marinade or something like that, and just bring it and pop it in as well. Even if you did do some sort of meat, brown it, add a gnocchi, brown that, and then just smoky barbecue. Might come later. But again, that's a meal. Even just going and buying your tin of Mexican beans in a can, baked beans in a can, any sort of thing like that, just to add sauce to it. As I said, I was going to do Mexican can with some ravioli or just regular pasta, the same as I do the spag bowl. But I'm going to finish this, finish my port, this cup anyway, and yeah, we're getting close to golden hour. So finish this, get the drone ready, and that'll see us out to the end of the night. So another day done. Tonight's port of choice is a De Bortley Sacred Hill, Scarred Hill, Sacred Hill. So fitting to where we are. Little bits. I don't want to get too warm. What a spot! What a spot! The sun's dropped. Whether it's the mozzie calls or just the mozzies seem to be keeping away the bloody nymphs. I don't know if you can hear that. It's a loud buzzing. It's unsettling. Maybe the mozzie calls are keeping this area mozzie free, but there's just a wall of them sitting around waiting for them to die down and they can come in and attack. Anyway, enjoy this. Wait for the sun to go all the way down and climb into the hammock. We'll see how that goes. So that's me signing off for tonight, and see you in the morning. Good morning. Take these bloody earplugs out. Oh. We'll have a look at the more prettier side of the morning. 6 o'clock on the dot. So how did we go with the hammock? Well, a couple of times my ass slid down to the lowest point and the feet were right up in the air. Working out the whole sleeping on an angle, stay flat. But I don't feel too bad. We'll see how that goes when I get out of bed. One mozzie down there near my feet that's trying to get in. You won't let him. I could have done with another hour, but anyway. The bush waits for no one. That sun's burning my corneas. So yeah, the sleeping bag I'm using is just a +7 Adventure Ridge, folds down, really small. So again, being compact, temperature wise, I think we're near perfect temp. I'm not hot, not cold at all. A little bit stuffy when we went to bed because of lack of breeze. I could feel the breeze coming through the side just, but a little bit extra wind would have been good. So yeah, the other good thing about this too, you got this little ridge line in the top, so you can hang. Got my head torch hanging there. I've got clothes hanging from the top ridge line. Shirt, pants are up there, but you could have your stuff hanging in here, socks, jocks, all that sort of stuff if you need be. So I'm gonna watch this sun come up and think about cooking some brekkie. I realised last night when I was grabbing some stuff out of the bike, I don't have any water with me. Left a bottle of water at home, so no coffee today. Do that when I get home, but yeah. We'll cook some brekkie anyway. Easy fire. So I've taken that grill out of the bottom just so the fire can sit down on the rock on the base. It makes it a little bit wonky, but it's better than the alternative. I might look at getting a similar size grill. I might even get that one and just cut all the innards out of it so it can still be just a steel frame in there. That's right, that's going to do breakfast. Rightio, a bit of a first here for breakfast. No eggs and no bacon. Oil pressure's running a bit high, so the doctor's told me cut some of that stuff out. Yay. So instead, we're going to do some tomatoes on toast, which is pretty much what I have for brekkie every day. So. Oops, bloody frogs are around again. First things first, we'll get our toast toasting. Butter knife, which I haven't got, so it's going to be the steak knife. Should have a butter knife in there, I wonder where that's gone. Stuff taken out the wash and doesn't get put back. Right, so we've got everything here. Oh, that was quick. That's definitely the hot bit then. Maybe up there, maybe there. Rightio. While I'm putting the butter on, I just want to inform you of just how bad the mosquitoes are up here. In October, I don't know if it's DSC, I don't know if it's local universities, whatever it is, whoever goes out and does the, they set traps, mosquito traps, so they can, oh, that's one toasty, get what the numbers are doing out in the river and that. In October, they were having an average of 3 mosquitoes per trap. Now again, I don't know if this trap's a 44 gallon drum, if it's a Coke can, what, but I'm just, this is the final, the final numbers. So October, they averaged 3 mosquitoes per trap. Last week, they checked, they'd done their trap round, and they were averaging 1,200. So, my math being incorrect, I'm going to say that's a 3,000% increase. It's probably a lot more. Oh, mosquitoes. The one benefit we do have at the moment, see that, is it hasn't rained for 2 weeks, so a lot of the water that's been laying around the hills and that's now gone. Mosquitoes only live, oh come on, only live for about 7 days, so we're getting to that point where any mozzies that were around when it was wet are now gone. So gonna layer our tomato on that. Someone's using it in here, cardboard like it. Just can't have them without onion. Last night as I had the drone up, the car pulled up, come roaring up, and I come to cut across the rocks behind me to get back here without being seen. And he did see me and see me in my riding gear and thought I'd fallen off somewhere and asked me if I was alright. So those people are looking out for others. Bit of pepper, unfortunately no salt. Coffee in there, staring me in the face. A little bit burnt, but anyway. Tomatoes and red onion on toast. Something nice and quick and easy. Again, tomato and onion in a Ziploc bag so you're not getting a stunk out esky of onion. A little bit of moisture from the tomato for not having water with me. So, I'm going to finish this. I'll pack up camp while I'm waiting for that to cool back down, and we might go for a walk up the top of Mount Pilot. Let's go for a little walk up this hill. Probably not going to talk for a lot of it. I'm not going to film a lot of it. I got about 50 metres up here yesterday and started panting like an unfit old cat. So I reckon we could get a motorbike up here, but as I said last night, we're not going to go into that. Oh, puffing already. Direct. Not so steep. Warning sign. Continue. Whew. Look at that for a view. Park bench, just in the right spot. So as I was saying yesterday, Eldorado to the north, Beechworth and Eldorado over here. Probably can't see it, but that far mountain range is Mount Buffalo, sticking its head up above everything else. That's where we're going next. If you're a hiker and had the hammock or whatever, there'd be spots all the way up along this climb. You'd camp. I'm camping around the bottom of this big rock here too. I thought my view down there was something, but this is something else. Hell, the ground's flat enough here. Even just roll the swag out there. Roll the swag out there. You got a bench to cook on, sit on, and wake up to that. Anyway, we've still got some climbing to do. So here we are, top of the world. Highest point here anyway, with we'll jump up on this. Take some trees out of the equation. We've now got a 360-degree view of the foothills of the Victorian high country. So again, north, Eldorado, Indigo Valley, that mountain over there, or mountain, that little hill over there is, or Skeleton Hills over there, that's Ridge Track where we camped. Homes beyond that. Eldorado, Beechworth. You can see it's pretty gorgy in there. Wouldn't mind doing a trip up there as well, but oh. This is big sight dial. I thought they'd have a Melbourne, Sydney, Perth and that on there as well as a guide for the city slickers, where they are. As you can hear, the flies are getting busy. Big blowflies. It is supposed to be a hot day. It's going to be, or hot, it's 32, it's first post 30 or above 30 degree day of the summer, so everything the light touches is my kingdom. Good little table up here again. It'd be great if you could drive up here, just in the shade of the trees there, the Forby. Sitting down here, where are we? The sun would have went down over there last night, over the Eldorado ranges there, so that would have been good too. You can see people have been camped up here. There's fires in the rock holes. Although you'd have to bring your own wood up here. There's not much, not much when it comes to wood. This looks like it might be a bit of a drop off. I hope so, because I've got to walk all the way up the bloody hill again. Oh yeah, that drops off pretty quick. Still can't see the bottom yet. Everything's covered in moss. That's about as far as I'm going to go, but those winds coming from the west, I'm surprised they don't bloody hang glide off here. But I suppose getting stuff up here, and it again being a laid claim to by the Aboriginals, so they probably grateful we can still climb up here. I don't like what's happened everywhere else. Anyway, that's Mount Pilot. Go back and finish packing up. Our local power company has decided today to have a power shutdown from 8 to 4 on a 32-degree day, which is going to be fun. So go and get the generator set up, run the fridge and freezer. But yeah, I'll pack up camp and hit the road. There's a rookie mistake. Don't climb to the top of a mountain and leave your phone back at the bike. No photos, no drone. Carry the drone all the way up here. No camera, no phone. Damn, and now I'm lost. So odd. You got a direct line up the rock to the top. And the good thing about granite like this, it doesn't erode with vehicles driving over it. Yeah, it would be dangerous if there's moss in that, but as you can see, there's no moss on it. Now, clearly people are still getting over it. And they're poor attempt here at putting some logs over the road. You got a 4 with 33-inch tyres and a decent lift, and you're going to get over it anyway. But there's no signs to say you can't in the first place. Out in the bush, all the single tracks that are out there, pretty much wherever they bisect the road, there's signs nailed to trees and everything else saying do not ride your bikes, do not drive your vehicles off the gazetted roads. But here, there's nothing. Like, you bring your motorbike up there, you zigzag your way around there and you're at the top. Anyway, as I said before, do the right thing the best you can. Start getting too adventurous and you're going to come unstuck. Alright, I'm trying to get this big bastard out of here. So, packed up camp, left a little bit of firewood there for next time because there's definitely going to be a next time. But apart from not having water and it being a little bit mild, that was a cracking night. Here we go. Stay. Oh, I can't wait to downsize to a lighter bike, I can tell you. Oh, but it is good not having that swag on the back, I can tell you that now. Alright. Up the hill, come on. Oh. Ride that clutch. Alright.
let's mosey on out of here. So yeah, that was episode 9, Mount Pilot National Park once again. I do apologise, it's a bit same old, just kind of struggling at the moment to find the time to get out and do this. Haven't been able to do it for a few weeks, as I said, and it's definitely feel better when you do. So overnight camping, stealth camping in a national park at a lookout in a hammock. Definitely something I'm going to do again, but the hammock won't be joining me next trip. I've got a little Christmas present that's just turned up. Something a bit faster than the hammock is set up, so we'll see. So thank you all for coming along on this trip with me. It's been a real good bump in subscribers lately. I think we're up to 150 now, so up to 150 now, which is absolutely fantastic, and starting to see some comments on the videos as well. So as I said before, I'm doing this because I love it. I'm not a subscriber hound or whatever else. If you are enjoying the videos, hitting that subscribe button would really would be appreciated. Give me an idea how many people actually are watching them. And it does motivate even more to get out and film some of the trips, because even though I might get out in the bush and go for a ride or something, don't necessarily film it. Yeah, so again, thank you all for watching. I've been Brad, this has been the Benelli, and we'll see you next episode for the last one for 2022.